Hello and welcome to another episode of the English for Success podcast. I'm your coach, Shane Mackey, and today we're talking about something that is crucial, extremely important, something that you cannot skip if you want to become fluent in English. Do you ever feel like you cannot express yourself fully or you cannot communicate effectively with other people because you cannot think of the right words to use? Or maybe you have to stop to think often of the vocabulary or translate from your own language when you're communicating, when you're speaking in English. If so, if you have a problem remembering words and learning vocabulary, then this episode of the podcast is for you. Okay. So, this is a good one. This is very valuable here today, and it's all about vocabulary. So, welcome again to the English for Success podcast. This is where you get tips and tricks and great advice on how you can be successful with your English and how you can use English and improve your English for success in business and in your life in general. So, this episode is entitled The World Around You. Okay, and it's all about learning vocabulary. In this episode, we're going to cover where you should start when learning vocabulary, because I know it's a very overwhelming uh, practice or a very overwhelming concept. How many words are there in the English language? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're also going to help you to find your level, okay? Because there are different numbers of words that people at different levels know. So I'm going to share with you a great resource for you to find out your level, okay? Specifically related to vocabulary. We're also going to talk about how many words you should learn per day and where you should focus when learning vocabulary. Finally, we're going to share with you and we're going to talk about here one of the best strategies that you can use in your life to remember, to learn and remember the vocabulary that you need specifically for your situation. All right, sound good? Stick around, watch this video, and click like and make sure other people, because we're live here in the English for Success podcast group. We're live on the page. We're live in YouTube. So when you click like, you let other people know that this training is going out live now, and other people can get the help they need as well. So in the program, in my full program, we cover a lot of important topics that my clients need for success in their business and life. And you'll notice here, number one is all about lifestyle, because this is what you need to understand. You need to stop thinking about English as a subject that you need to study to pass a test, right? Forget about the word subject, forget about the word study. You need to think of it as a lifestyle, because at the end of the day, what is a language? A language is something that we use to express our ideas and connect with people. All right. And the best way to become fluent is to be immersed in that language and culture. All right. So from this, we can clearly understand that the best way to do this is to make it part of your lifestyle, something that you do every day, something that you enjoy doing, something that is relevant to you. All right. Like exercising. If you want to become fit, you don't just go to the gym once in a while, every now and again. Okay. You have to do it consistently, and you really should enjoy it if you want to make it part of your lifestyle. So, what we're going to look at is the key. This is what we're talking about here today, the key to learning vocabulary. Sound exciting? Let's take a look. First of all, I want to give you this very encouraging statistic, all right, our number here. The top 1,000 word groups in English account for 80% of texts, of the language being used in newspapers, when you read, websites or articles, or when you read text in English. The top 1,000 word groups account for 80%. So if you know these 1,000 word groups, now what's a word group? A word group just means that, we're not, say for example, the word go, goes, going, went, right? That's all counted as the word, one word, okay? One word group, okay? So 1,000 of those, the top 1,000 of those account for over 80% of the language used. All right. So you can understand 80% of English if you know these top 1,000 words. This is very encouraging because, if you go and you look up statistics or you look up numbers about vocabulary in English, you could see numbers like 1 million. You could see 1 million is not very realistic. That's from the history of time. All of the words that we no longer use in English are all counted in there. And all the words separate, like go, goes, going, went, they're all counted separately. And it's not a realistic figure. Forget about 1 million. Look at the Oxford Dictionary. You will see about 170,000 words. Shocking. How can I learn 170,000 words? You don't have to. No one knows 170,000 words in English. What you should be, if you want to be, say, in the intermediate level, about 1,000 to 3,000 words. Okay, if you want to get up to advanced, you're talking about 10,000 words. Okay, but remember this statistic, the top 1,000 words account for over 80% of the language used, right? So this is a great starting point. Now, the next thing you need to consider is how many words per day should you learn? My top tip here is don't overload yourself, right? Don't take on too much. Again, this is a lifestyle. This is something you need to enjoy doing. I'm going to share with you a great activity that you can do in your life, that you can enjoy doing this. But remember the word enjoy. If, last year, one of my students said she was going to focus on vocabulary and she was going to learn, I think, 20 words per day. And is this possible? Can you remember 20 words in a day? Yeah, if you work really hard at it, you probably could. But are you going to do this every day? Are you going to quit your job? Are you going to stop paying attention to your family? Stop exercising? It's not realistic, right? So what I recommend is that you a very healthy number to look at would be 5 words per day. Okay, so if you decide that you want to learn and remember 5 words per day, this will give you 1,825 words in 1 year. That's pretty impressive, right? Considering intermediate level learners know between 1,000 and 3,000, right? So you could learn 1,825 new words in 1 year if you decided to learn 5 words a day. Now, I recommend to my students you can learn 3 words to 5 words. Even if you decide to learn 1 word every day, it's still going to make a huge difference. The point here is that you need to make a decision. You need to make a commitment. You need to decide and tell yourself that you are going to learn how many words. It's up to you, but you need to set this goal for yourself and make sure you do it. 1 word a day, 3 words a day, 5 words a day. It's up to you. Don't go over 10 words. That's my advice. So the next thing you need to think about is narrowing it down. Okay, now what I mean here is that you want to focus. All right, you want to focus on the specific vocabulary that you need. All right, it needs to be relevant to you. You need to focus on this. You need to say, this is important. This is one of the fundamental parts of learning the language. The language is made up of words, right? So you need to focus on this. You need to set it as a priority, and you need to set goals. Like we spoke about a second ago, you could set a goal of learning 3 words per day, 3 new words per day. All right. Set yourself a goal. And a goal should have a timeline as well. Okay. So focus. This is the first thing you need to do. Focus, set goals. The second thing you need to do is always pay attention to your passion, your interests, your needs. Why do you need to use English? There's no point in you learning medical vocabulary if you don't intend to be a doctor or a nurse or work in a hospital or be sick all of the time. All right. You need to decide, what do you need your English for? What type of words do you need? And then you need to decide to discover the most common words. Okay, this is how you use your time most efficiently. Use the most commonly used words. Make sure you know them first. Okay. If you're, one of my students is living in Ireland and she just wants to become fluent in her lifestyle in Ireland. So then what you want to think about is maybe it's not specific for work, for your job, for your career, for meetings, for presentations, or maybe it's just general to communicate with people. Well, then you can Google the top 1,000 words, the most common 1,000 words in English. Great place to start, and make sure you have them first. Okay. But whatever your interest, whatever your needs, concentrate on the most common words first. Okay. Focus, set goals, follow your needs, your interests, and you learn the most common words first. Now, what I'd like to do with you now is to share an activity. This is what we speak about in the program. I give my students the activities that they can incorporate. We help to develop their lifestyles. This is what we're doing at the moment. And this week we've focused on vocabulary. I've shared a few different activities, 3 of my top activities for learning vocabulary, and I'm going to share one of those with you here today in this live video. This one is called The World Around You. You may remember I mentioned this at the start of this short video today. The world around you. This is key. The title here is key, right? It's the world around you. You see, you is capitalized here because it's all about you. It's all about your lifestyle, your needs. Why do you need English? All right. And you need to be able to be confident and fluent in your world, right? So I've broken this down into 3 very simple steps for you here today. First of all, step 1, look and name. Okay, now I'm going to explain this in the context of one of my students. She's a lovely Polish woman and she is in real estate. She sells property, mostly homes, I think. So she wants to improve her English and become confident and fluent in English so she can expand her business and start taking care of international clients who want to buy property in Poland. So this is why she's very specific reason for improving her English. And so for the world around her, what I recommended was that she thinks about her context, her situation, her daily activities. She has to go to a property and show it to potential buyers. So how she can do this activity is on her way to the property, she looks around at all of the vocabulary that is relevant, that she needs. Okay, she arrives at the house. There would be a good way to start. House, residence. Then she could look at the garden, the swimming pool, the landscaping. Then she could maybe the facade of the house, the entrance area, the hallway, the veranda, the balcony, the porch, all of these words that she needs to talk about presenting this house. So what we decided was that she would arrive 10 minutes early before she has to show a house, and she'll do this activity for 10 minutes. Look around and name everything she can in English. Then, when she is doing this, she will notice the words that she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know the word for porch or veranda or balcony, whatever it is. Then she'll quickly make a note in her native language, Polish in this example, in this case. So she'll make a note of the words she doesn't know. Okay, you've got step one. Look around, name everything you can in English, and make a note of the ones that you don't know. Okay, so that's actually step number 2, is to write down the words that you don't know in English. Write them down in your native language. You don't have time at this stage to be getting a dictionary, Google Translate. Well, if you do have time, okay, but just write them down, make a note of them so you remember the words you want to know. And then as soon as you can, maybe later on in the evening or when you get home or when you're having your coffee break, translate these words. Find the English translation. Find the English words that you don't know. Okay, make a note of it. Try to remember them. And then finally, step 3 is look and repeat, right? This is a process that repeats. It's part of your lifestyle every day, okay? So the next time she goes to a house to show this house, she does the same activity again. She arrives at the front, she says facade, landscaping, porch, front door, and she names everything she can, and she'll see then that she's starting to remember the words from step 2. Okay, and then you can expand upon this. As you learn more words, as you remember more words, you make a note of more words. This is an extremely effective way for you to learn in your natural setting new vocabulary. And it's called the world around you because it's the vocabulary that you specifically need in your situation. You know, if you're living in an English-speaking country and you just want to become fluent, another great way of looking at this is sitting on the train. If you're going to work or you sit on the train regularly, you can look out the window. Step 1, what is step 1? Look and name, right? Look and name everything you can in English. Then step 2, you notice the things that you cannot name in English, that you don't know, the vocabulary you don't know, you make a quick note of it. I don't know this word. Write it down in your native language. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you want. And then later on, you translate those words into English and try to remember them. Step 3, the next time you're on the train, you look and you repeat. You do the process again. You're naming things. Okay, you name everything you see looking out the window, and you'll start to remember the words you didn't know yesterday. This is the world around you, and this can be applied to any situation. And this is a great example of how you need to think about improving your vocabulary, but also the way you learn English. Forget about going to a classroom and getting the teacher to teach you English and making notes and all that, studying for tests. Make it a lifestyle. That is the main thing I'm coming here to remind all of you today, that you want to make it a lifestyle. Remember this activity, the world around you, step 1, step 2, step 3, and use this in your daily life. You will get amazing results. That is the end of today's episode of the English for Success podcast. I have been your coach, Shane Mackey, and that was all about the key to learning vocabulary. Go out there, try this, practice. I'll see you in the next episode.